again.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thought I'd go ahead and break out my recurve, put a new string on it, and put a knocking point on it, and maybe tune it. I don't know. We might save the tuning video for the next week's video. I don't know. I hope the wind isn't interrupting everybody, making too much noise. But I did get some new arrows. I don't know how they're gonna fly yet. I've never used arrows like this that have this around the fletchings. I don't know how that's gonna react. It's like a shrink wrap or something they put on there. I don't know how that's gonna react when it comes off the shelf of my bow. It might kick it up a little bit, so the tuning might be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we're not going to worry about that yet. We're going to restring this bow first. Let me get her unzipped. Now, I've had this bow for a long time, and I'll actually put a picture in right here of me and my son after I got this bow. That's how long I've had this bow. He's 28 now. I think in the picture he's about 5 or 6. I think he's 5, but I can't remember exactly. So here's the bow, my Black Widow. Autumn Oak Short Edition. It's a pretty good little bow. It was made in '96. Okay, so this string doesn't look bad when you look at it. It does not. I'm going to take these silencers off. I'm going to put these on the new string. These Black Widow silencers. Now this string has been on here for 20 years, so I'm pretty sure it's not good. But I want to show you guys what I mean. You take this string and you bend it. Well, if it'll bend for me. Anyways, it'll crease. It makes a crease. See, it's brittle. So we don't want to use this string. Now, Mike could put that string up and use it for a backup, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, let's get this string off. Alright, so I don't use one of them extra strings you put on here to pull it up, bow stringer. I don't use one of those. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. I'm going to put this part of the bow against my ankle. Okay? I'm going to step through the string just like so. I'm going to rest the riser and handle, center of the bow, behind my right knee. I'm going to grab the other end of the bow, the limb. I'm going to push it forward to get this string off. Just like that. Now normally I would do it a lot faster, but I wanted you guys to see what was up. Alright, string off. This string doesn't have a one end that's bigger than the other. The new string I have, it will have a bigger loop on the end that goes on the top limb, and the shorter loop goes on the bottom limb. Okay, so let's get in my bow box, my accessories box. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. Get the new string. No metal Nocks. I'm not going to use those metal Nocks. Not going to use the metal Nocks. Alright, so here's our new string. We're going to straighten it out a little bit. Now if you'll notice what I was talking about, you see how one loop is bigger than the other loop? This will go on the top limb. This will go on the bottom limb. And the reason this is bigger is to make it easier to string, but also when you're done shooting, you want to let your string down. You don't want to keep your bow with the string on it just sitting around all the time. So you can take this end of the string and just slide it down the limb of your bow and leave it on there. So now let's put the new string on. We're going to slide the little loop on the end. You know what? We better put the silencers on the string first. Okay, so these silencers will go between the strands in the string. So we'll take the string and we'll just give it a backward twist here and separate the two colors just like so. We'll get this in here and we're going to tuck it just like that into those little holes, and now we're in. Make sure we keep our twist. We're going to come down a couple inches from the twist here, and we're going to separate the strands again. Try to keep the two colors separated. It's a little sticky, you guys. Okay, so now you'll see the two holes. I want one color in this hole, the other color in this hole. Okay? Put the string, the silencer through. Black one's in that hole. Yellow gold in the other hole. See it? Alright, so now we have the silencers on. We'll go ahead and put the string on, check our brace height. Bottom of the limb against my ankle. Step over the bow. The riser handle is behind the knee. We're going to stretch it in. Get it on there. Well, make sure everything's lined up good. Make sure this isn't, and the string broke. My string broke. No, it slipped off. Gosh dang, that was close. Alright. Let's do this again. Close call, you guys. I don't know why that didn't want to stay on there. Got to get it in the groove. Make sure it's in the groove. All right, it's in there. Hopefully it won't slip off again. So let's check our brace height. Now our brace height, you want to get you one of these little knocking tools. The brace height should be 7 inches from inside of the grip to your string. PSR custom bow. 7 3/4 of an inch, huh? Well, we got her strung. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this strung up overnight and allow this string to stretch a little bit, and then we can work on knocking point. We're going to let it set for a few days and stretch. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put an adjustable knock on this string, so in a few days, if it shortens any, we'll shoot it and retune it. But if it doesn't move, then we'll go to the target and we'll tune the arrows and be able to move that knock up and down. So let's put a knocking point on there. All right, so when you put your knocking point on, especially with a recurve or a longbow, your knocking point is going to be set high, not straight across like that. You don't want it too low, because it will actually cause your fletchings to hit your rest and kick your arrow up. So we want to put our knocking point up high. Now I shoot split finger, so my arrow is going to be between these two fingers like that. So generally you're going to want to start about a 1/2 inch. The bottom of your knock up here should be at about 3/4 of an inch, and then the top of your knock, your bottom knock, will be at about a 1/2 inch. So first we'll set our top knock. Okay, it's just barely touching that shelf. Now it looks like it's touching it more because of the leather that's on there, but so it's this part of the shelf where the arrow will be sitting right down in here. You want this to sit in that same spot, just freely sitting there, where it'll just barely move. It's free. We'll get some serving string and we'll wrap it on there. Get us a nifty difty pair of scissors out here. We're gonna cut a piece of this off. What do we got here? About 8 inches. We're gonna put it through here. We'll go ahead and take this off so we can tie this on here. So we go over the string like so. We're going to make this side, we're going to have this side to the left shorter than the side to the right at first here. Okay. So we're going to wrap. We're going to wrap this 4 times, 4 wraps. 1, 2, 3, Okay. Whoa. So we got 4 wraps still. Okay, so after 4 wraps, we're going to loosen this up so we can get this string under. We're going to go back 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thread that through there. Pull this up a little bit. Now we want this one, we need 2 wraps. 1, 2. Got 2 wraps. 1, 2. Now we're going to tie just the overhand knot in this. Okay. Now we're going to thread this back through the same loop that we came in from. Just like so. Okay. And we're going to tie it together. Slide it up. Bunch it up so that we can slide it up. We're going to need to put it. We're going to want to get this bottom edge on our 5/8 mark. Get our knocking tool back on here. Make sure it's got room to move. Well, it ain't moving much, is it? Move it up just a hair. Alright, so this is 0 right off the shell. So we're going to take this to where the bottom of it. So we'll put our top knock at 5/8, get it tightened down and make it look right. The odds are, you guys, I'm going to end up re-knocking this anyways. Because my string is going to stretch, I can almost guarantee you. We're going to get a little stretch out of this, so I'll have to probably change this after I get it tuned in. I'll put new knocking points on here. We don't want to get that too tight. Now let's get an arrow. And we'll tie us another knock right there. Did that one much better. So now we'll put our arrow on there, get our knock on there. Now we don't want it real tight up against the knot, because when you pull the string back, it's going to tighten itself up against the knot. So we want a little wiggle room, just a little. See, we want it to, we don't want it really touching, but almost touching. Okay. Get our knots up here. Make sure that's pulled in good enough there, tight enough, close enough. Now we'll tighten this up. Now, if this is done right, these knots you'll be able to just twist them around this string and adjust it later. Okay, Get rid of the arrow, we don't need that now. Now let's cut these. Leave enough to melt. I don't know how good this is going to work because it's awfully windy out here. Alright, there it is. Adjustable knocking point. There it is, you guys. Oh, fell right off. So if you'll notice, this shelf is not very wide. It's not a very wide shelf at all. But anyways, with that on there, it makes it even smaller. So when I shoot this bow, I won't be holding the bow straight like this. I'll have it canted just a little bit so that that arrow will stay on there, okay? I don't want it to come off. When I grab my string, I'm going to grab it with the tips of my fingers, not at the knuckle, not at the knuckle. I was taught to use my fingertips. So when I grab the bow string, I'm not going to put my knuckles in like that. Okay, and I'm not going to get up here against the arrow neither. I'm going to stop at this knock, and I'm going to stop at this knock up here, but I'm going to use my fingertips like this. See that? Fingertips. Okay, and then I'm going to use this finger for my anchor point. So when I draw back and this finger hits the corner of my mouth where I anchor, I'm going to let go. So we got to be careful because I don't want to shoot my neighbor's car. I'm not shooting it. I'm just going to draw it to show you how I do it. So I'm going to come back, hit the corner of my mouth, let go. I'm going to stare at my target. So I'm going to shoot instinctively. So I'm just going to stare at my target. I'm going to draw my bow. And when I get to my anchor point, boom, I'm going to let go. What I'll do is I'll let this bow sit for a couple days, or a week, I don't know, however long it takes. I'm a grown man, I'll do it how I want. And then we'll break out a target and we'll let her go. And when acorns or hickory nuts fall out of the tree when you're at full draw and it causes you to have a little tiny mini stroke, don't let go of the string. That just happened, scared me to death. Alright, there it is, y'all. Just remember, even if you're making a video and your bowstring pops off your bow and embarrasses you, go ahead and put it in your video, but don't sweat it. Squatch it, keep on keeping on. I hope everyone has a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.